Hey.
Hey, man, what time it is, man?
Hey. Relentless.
Hey. Hey. Welcome to the Cole and Dre podcast. I'm Cole.
And this is Drake. What up, world?
Yo, we got a special guest with us today, man. We got one of the homies with us long time. I've been fucking with this dude since he was probably 16, 17 years old. You know what I mean?
For real.
So we go way back. This old Frank Nitty from the 5th Ward Juvenilez.
As a matter of fact, and you know, a lot of people may know me and remember Mr. Slimm. You know what I'm saying?
You sure right. You are Mr. Slimm.
Yeah, I'm the first Slimm.
I don't even know where this Frank Nitty come from, even though I introduced you as this.
Yeah,
you are Mr. Slimm.
I was Mr. Slimm.
Or just Slimm.
Back when, the 5th Ward Juvenilez, then I switched to Frank Nitty with FWC. That's what you remember the Frank Nitty from.
Okay.
So you
know,
know,
I don't, nigga. I remember you as Slim, but go ahead.
Yeah. Still, when anybody see me today, they gonna say I'm Slim. Obviously,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't too much change, but man, I want to give a shout out. First of all, I want to thank y'all for having me on the show, man.
Appreciate you coming through, man.
I've been watching y'all show because you know, one thing about me, I'm a podcast fanatic. That's what even made me start the Frankenstein Oddcast podcast. Shout out to Oddcasters out there.
Y'all make sure y'all hit that like
and the whole
subscribe over that Frankenstein Oddcast podcast,
soon
as well as this Cole and Dre podcast.
Man, as soon as I watched y'all show, I made sure I hit subscribe and like.
Thank you.
I
got you subscribed. I can open
let's
the phone.
get it.
Yes, I got a chance to watch a lot of y'all shows last night, and I was like, man, that's like I was telling K-Tron, man, y'all looking real good. I'm like, he got y'all looking good. The way y'all got the show running and going together is super dope, man. Especially the Andre Johnson episode, man. Like, Dre is my favorite football player. I was just telling K-Tron before the show, and I told you yesterday, I said, like, yo, if I was here, I would ask Dre, like, yo, what did it feel like when you was playing, Miami in 2008, and it was the fourth quarter, and y'all was down, I think it was 24-28, and you caught that fourth down, it was a pass on fourth down, and he caught it on an out route against two cornerbacks. I'm talking about he literally went over him and got it. That's how much I know about Drake. Like, I know
that's way too much
all his plays. Drake probably would have been like, bro, I don't even remember that.
Hold on. Dre, you see what I'm saying? I wasn't prepared. This is a nigga that would have been prepared. But let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna hit y'all with a Joel Osteen. We like to start off with something funny on our show. So before we got started, Dre was eating Papacitos next door, and he had some chips and jalapenos raw. And for some reason, after he ate the jalapenos, he took a piss and touched his dick. And it was really burning. He had to delay the show because he had to go wash his dick off.
Hey, my boy had to take a whole bath before the show.
Hey, that's all fact. That's some terrible shit. That's some terrible shit.
Hey, I'm definitely gonna learn my list because, like, I love jalapenos.
Yeah,
don't
touch your dick.
Jalapenos.
Don't touch your dick or your eye. Like, listen, don't touch your dick or your eye.
And the crazy part about it, I knew that, and I still just fucked up and did it because I hadn't had. Yeah, that was terrible.
But you was in a rush though. He was trying to hit up and get ready for the show.
So listen, man. This is one of the reasons why we bought Frank Nitty on, man. Me and Slim was having a conversation, man, and it was like he was telling me about the producers of the day versus the producers of yesteryear in our time frame, right? And so he was telling me about loop packages and all this other shit that I never heard of. And so I'm like, oh, that's what these niggas doing, because now I've been trying, of course you guys know we got the bricks coming. Actually, we got the premiere August 12th. So not everybody's invited to that, I'm sorry. But we'll be up in that bitch, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, so y'all make sure y'all go check out the bricks. It's going to be on Tubi. And it'll be on the other platforms after that. But
yes, sir.
So as we were speaking, I was telling them I was having a hard time getting a soundtrack together for these two movies that I've done. And one of the biggest problems I've been running into is nobody owns their own music.
Yep.
So, everybody's leasing these beats. So I'm like, I can't use that. So everything I'm getting is not original. So it's kind of fucking up the soundtrack. So when I spoke with Nitty, he started breaking down the difference in producers of today and yesteryear, and started telling me about what is it, a loop package? Tell the audience what a loop package is. I never heard of that.
Because I'm confused as shit. Like,
yeah, I'm finna bust it down.
Break down the whole producer shit that you and this nigga was talking Chinese
First
about.
of all, man, shout out to all the producers out there that's actually real producers. If you're an artist and you out here in the game, what you gotta realize that there's a big difference between producers and beat makers.
That's facts.
It's a totally big difference. And
please share the difference because I don't know it.
okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna take it a little back right quick.
Okay.
Right. I remember what even made me get into producing was, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the times that, you know, when you the artist and you have producers coming in. Shout out to Grizz too, man. You already know what it is. Grizz used to actually take us out to eat, take us out to the movies and all kind of things. He was the producer at Rap-A-Lot at that time for the Fifth Ward Juveniles for most of our stuff. And I used to notice that like the you know, they got paid first. The producer got paid first and sometimes paid more. You know what I'm saying?
Most of the times got paid more.
Exactly. So what I realized is that, man, I need to get into the production. So I actually got into production, and in getting into production, you know, I looked up to the greats. I can go actually far back as to Maurice White, Quincy Jones, but let's cut the line that say a Dr. Dre or a Timberland or something like that.
No, we're
right?
not gonna do that. I mean, I
Real-
like Dr.
real-
Dre. Hold on,
real producer.
Stop. I like Dr. Dre. I like Timberland, but I am not going to allow you as a Rap-A-Lot artist when you first started to go to these niggas instead of Mike Dean and N.O. Joe.
Let me stop.
And
Yeah, you're
Grizz
right.
and the niggas
You're
that
right.
was, I ain't gonna,
these
ain't
are
gonna
these
go
are the
ahead and
people.
pay the proper
Okay,
homage, nigga.
okay.
Don't
So
do
let me
that. We
pay.
ain't gonna do that.
Let
Okay,
me
go
pay
ahead. We gonna do
the.
that.
Let me pay the proper homage, man. Okay. First and foremost, if y'all go back and you look on the Fifth Ward Juveniles album, you see the producers of Mike Dean. As a matter of fact, I was telling you before the
Yes,
show,
you were.
G Groove, which was our first single that we put out back then, was the first fully produced Mike Dean track.
Shout out to Mike Dean, man.
Shout out to Mike Dean. Love Mike Dean.
Let me tell you
man.
this before you go on with this story. Dre, Mike Dean, you know Mike Dean, Dre?
Yeah, I know Mike Dean.
Mike Dean is one of the most talented producers to me in all of production, all of producers.
Fact, 'cause he do everything.
I saw Mike Dean produce a country album, a rock album, and a rap album. Pretty much in
The dude
2
is
days.
the truth.
Like that's a hell of an ear, because you have most producers that have, you know, they genre of music. But man, shout out to you, Mike Dean. Mike Dean, the white boy with the long spongy hair. What up, baby?
He be super busy too, man. I ain't gonna lie. That dude is super busy.
We used to go out to his crib
man.
way out the way, up 290, I think it was. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, that's where it was at.
Go
It's
to his
like,
crib all the time.
Okay,
Man,
Dre,
love
I
Mike
be
Dean.
forgetting you been outside alone.
yeah, like I know Dre, man. Like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? I know yesterday when we talked on the phone, he was like, "Who is Nitty?" No, it's just because we ain't seen each other in a minute. But you know, I'll be
Facts.
real low key with the whole thing, but because I'm in that studio like
hold
all
on.
day, every day.
Hold on, I gotta tell you. So this, I called Dre on the phone yesterday. I said, man, we're gonna have Frank Nitty come on. Who the fuck is that nigga?
Hey,
So I had him on speaker. I'm like,
I ain't gonna lie, that rung in my head for a little while. Look,
hey man,
I would keep
nobody
him
know
full
you ain't
focus.
Slimm,
But
man.
I didn't know him as
That
that,
nigga,
though.
hey, but look, he said, who the fuck is Nitty? I swear to God. Look, I say, but you say, when he get here, you'll know who Nitty is. And one thing I was confident in that, because I say, man, if he from Houston, ain't nowhere in the world he ain't gonna know who Mr. Slimm is from the Fifth
But
Ward
he didn't
Juvenile.
say that, though. I was
He
like,
said
what?
Nitty.
He said Nitty. I was like,
Who the fuck is that nigga, man?
that?
Say, who that nigga from Atlanta? Nitty on the beat. No,
That's
no.
the first person I thought about. That's the first person I thought about. I was like,
You're like, who the fuck is that? That nigga coming over here? No. But like you say, man, I got a lot from Mike Dean, man. Crazy C, man. Shout out, Joe, man. I learned the whole, like, literally when we used to be in the studio and people would leave out
Shout
the
out to
studio.
N.O. Joe and Crazy C.
People
man.
would leave out the studio and go in the game room, play ping pong and shit. You know what I'm saying? That was a big Rap-A-Lot thing back then.
Ping pong.
You,
I
niggas
was
done lost
kicking ass on
thousands of
that pool
dollars.
table.
How much money you lost on?
I ain't play on the pool table. Only person could fuck with me on the pool table probably back then was Mike Mack. And he shout out to
Man,
Mike
shout
Mack.
out Mike
and Mike
Mack,
Mack
man. I
really
love
can't
Mike
fuck
Mack.
with me either. You and I both know this. He beat me a couple times at my house, and he ain't never let that shit go.
Man, Mike Mack
we're
a
gonna get
motherfucker.
you on the show, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you, man. Congratulations.
Mike Mack
He
used
beat
to be
cancer, you're a
over-
cancer survivor.
Mike Mack used to be over New Tribe.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, like big time. That's how I met him. I remember seeing that guy when we were touring with the Loonies. You know what I'm saying?
man,
like,
let's hear some of these old Rap-A-Lot war stories. Man.
Hey,
let's get into
well,
some
I got
of
some stories.
some
I
of
ain't
the
gonna
road
lie.
trips. I mean,
You
know
want to
what I'm
hear a
saying?
war story? Oh, okay, I'm gonna give
Man,
you
let's
one.
get
This
some-
Might have to
this
cut
might
some of
come
this
out of
shit.
left
Go ahead.
field. This
We'll
might come
figure
out
out
of
if
left
this
field, but
gonna
we
make it or not.
Okay, we gonna keep it gangster, right? So
Probably not.
Okay,
Let's
I
keep
was a
it
kid, and I ain't gonna lie. Growing up around these Rap-A-Lot dudes, being a teenager, 14, 15, 16, it kind of it's an adventure. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, I was just telling somebody the other day in the studio, when we hit the road, it was very, very rarely that we spent the night all the way, but without getting kicked out of the room. We got kicked out of all the rooms. Shout out Stay Down. Oh, but anyway.
Shout out to Stay Down with your good
Man,
riding ass.
hey, we would get kicked out of rooms so much, man. We never used to be able to stay in the room. But this is one story that, like, I always would never, I would never forget, man. We were in the Sheraton Grand at the BRE convention. Virgin Records had set it up where they had this showcase. They had Shaggy there. They had Shaheem. Shout out Shaheem, man. My bad. Shaheem, the Rugged Child. It was a lot of people. All they top Virgin people who was with Virgin, and they brought Rap-A-Lot down there because, you know, they was doing Rap-A-Lot distribution. And as we were there, you know, we did the show, we left, right? We get back to the room, and this is where it gets spicy, right? We go upstairs, and there was this dude, should I say his name? I don't even know if he rapping now.
Don't say his name.
I ain't gonna say his name. But there was a guy who was next door up on the 80-something floor. That's how we was doing it at that time.
He definitely know who he is.
Yeah, we was up on the 80-something floor. This dude was across the room from us, and he had a big party going on. When I say, like, big party, man, like, turned up so much to where it caught our attention, and we was like, yo, y'all want to go over there? You know what I'm saying? So somebody went and knocked on the door. I ain't gonna say, this part ain't gonna say
fuck
no
all
name.
that. Tell the name. Who was the nigga, man?
Spook went over there.
Now, who was the nigga that was having the party?
It was L.A. Nash.
L.A. Nash. I don't know.
He ain't no big rapper now,
okay.
but he was popping in.
Okay, go
But
ahead.
he was up on the 82nd floor, and he had a big party. You know what I'm saying? And we went over there, stayed down. We all knocked on the door, tried to, hey, can Rap-A-Lot come in and party? He had a problem with that. And
I'm sure he had a problem. Go ahead.
I knew then at that time. I promise. When he said no, that they couldn't come in, and I seen Spook turn his hat backwards. Shout out Spook, man. Fifth Level Restaurant. Y'all already know what it is. Hey, when Spook turned his hat backwards, I knew what was up. I'm pretty sure L.A. Nash didn't know what was up. But when he turned his hat backwards, I knew what was up. All of a sudden, you know, some smackings went on. You know what I'm saying? And and it was some, bro, when I say it was some smackings went on, bro, we tore it down. And they told us to go to the room, you know, because we was the kids. They like, hey, I need to take y'all ass to the room. But we didn't go to the room. This is where it get funny at. Because after they dealt with L.A. Nash people, L.A. Nash them people was on the prowl now. Now they roaming the hallways looking for anybody with a Rap-A-Lot shirt on. We already downstairs. But there happened to be somebody on the elevator who was on their way up. Two people. It was Beto, shout out Beto, and Bushwick Bill.
Beto, you a dope producer.
R.I.P. Bushwick Bill. Man.
Bill slapped me before, man. You know,
bro.
Like honestly, yeah, Bill slapped me one time.
Hold up, man.
I tried to kill Bill, man. Like Bill literally slapped. You know, Bill had this little arm. I'm gonna tell you this story. So Chief kept calling Jazz Management. So Bill, fuck him. I don't want to talk to him. I say, Bill, the man called him. Hold on, Bill. Fuck him. Don't answer the phone. I say, Bill, hold on. Man, I picked that phone up. Nigga say, fuck you, and hit me, boy. I was so upset.
Man,
I got the choking Bill ass. And Popeye
bro, you
said,
choke Bill?
Popeye say, no, man, you know how Jay is about his artists, man. You can't do that, man. Jay gonna go crazy if you lead him, man. So I let Bill up. Well, actually, I didn't. Popeye pulled me off of him. And Bill, if anybody that know Bill, he always kept little pistols. He had these pockets, and he keep little derringers. And he pulled his little pistol out.
And that fanny pack full of blunts.
If you wasn't Jay's cousin, I'd kill you. I said, bitch, you better kill me then. Popeye say, don't tell him that again.
And you know Bushwick was from New York, Bushwick.
I said, yeah, all right, Bill, you wrong for that shit.
He might have got with
because
you.
that nigga would have really shot me.
He might, and he'd have had every right.
Hey, Dre, I know this to be certain. Like, I had to think about it. Popeye was like, hey, man, stop telling that nigga to shoot you, cause I was hot. I'm talking about hot. Mm-hmm. I say, nigga, you better bust that bitch. I promise you, nigga.
But back to what happened. Bushwick them was coming up the elevator. Bushwick told us that when they got out the elevator, they run into L.A. Nash now. They don't know what these niggas is on. They just don't know that them niggas is already looking for anybody with Rap-A-Lot shirts on. They jumped Bill and them in the hallway.
I did not know that.
They jumped Bill and them in the hallway, bro. Him
they
and Beto. Beto came out with his gun, but it jammed. And I know Beto was bodied. You know what I'm saying? Beto was bodied. So they say his gun jammed. And I was like, thank goodness, because you know what I'm saying? If he pulled it out and squeezed that, Vito about that life, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, man trying to defend himself.
Yeah, and it's like, bro, it's so many, like I tell people all the time, man.
But how you jump a midget, though? That's fucked up.
That's the craziest part about it. It's like,
hold on.
Can we say midget nowadays?
Did you know
Little
Bill?
people.
A little person. I'm
Did
sorry.
you know Bill?
No, I didn't know Bill. I've seen him before I know him.
Okay, yeah. If you've been around Bill, especially if he get on some alcohol, you can't help but fight this nigga.
Yeah, Bill gonna make you
he'll
fight
make
him.
you fight him. Like, you know what I'm saying? He that type of dude, yeah.
Bill is either,
Well,
when you're around
when
Bushwick,
he slapped the shit out you, he wanted to fight you. So
when you're around Bill, you either gonna have the greatest enriching conversation or you gonna have the worst adventure of your life. But you know what I'm saying? But back to what we was talking. See, one thing I don't never get off track on is where we was at in the first place.
Okay, well, let's
and
go.
what we was talking about is about these producers, man.
Yeah, okay.
These producers, what you have, and this is, I'm gonna give y'all the game. So all these artists out there that's getting beats and all of this stuff, and you doing this YouTube stuff or whatever, like the game is changing. And I remember one day being in the studio and starting to see cats selling beats for $50 and $100. You know what I'm saying? Fucking the game up. But I didn't realize
up the game
I didn't,
that you gets no love.
yeah, I'm like,
go ahead.
I remember one time dude brought a dude by solar. I asked him, how much did you get this beat for? And he say, man, I paid $50 for this beat. I say, call the producer. He called the producer. I stepped outside on the phone with the producer because I was trying to be proactive because I seen what was about to happen. I was like, bro, don't do that. I say, do you know that I sit up here and I sell beats for at least, at that time it was like $1,000 at the least? At the least. And you up here selling beats, bro, for $50? He was like, oh man, I didn't even know that. So what it was is, and this is what Cole was talking about. The whole thing is now, you got producers now who actually go in the studio and say if they like piano, right? They gonna play piano to 130 BPMs, right? It's gonna be a nice little cool groove. What they do is they'll sell that piano loop on the internet, and about 50,000 other producers will buy that same piano loop. And they are all build different drums, different elements around it, but it's still the same element of that piano. So they didn't go in there and they didn't play it. And then the person who played the piano will tell them like, hey, it's free, it's royalty free. You can just use it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so you got these producers now, and this is what I do in my studio, right? Cats will come in sometime if they're not getting a beat from me, and they say, hey, I need you to download this off of YouTube. I download it for them, and then we play it. And then what I do is I hit Google, and I hit my Shazam, and I let it hit. And it's always pulls up every time I show them, because I do it about 3 times. Every time it pulls up a different song. It's not even the same song every time it pulls up. It's going to be a different song.
So how would that affect your publishing and shit, though? Like, how would that affect
It super affects your publishing because now those dudes who did them loops 9 times out of 10 is finna come in and say, hey, man, I know that I said that was royalty free, but we didn't do no paperwork on that. And they come in and they try to get their money in, or 9 times out of 10, your beat can't even get onto like websites like TuneCore or whatever now because they thinking that you done sampled it from somewhere else.
Right.
That's the problem. This is how we got on the subject, Dre, because we having that issue on getting the movie scored and getting the soundtrack together for both of these movies.
Right.
And everybody who I'm dealing with, I'm liking some of their stuff, and I'm like, when we go to take a look at it, when I run it through Shazam, we'll try to say, okay, we'll get my attorney involved to get this license. It's never theirs. So, and what it takes to figure out whose it is like, it's not even worth it.
Your masters on your masters.
Yep. So what you got now, and this is what I was just telling K-Tron before we started the show. The beautiful thing is that people are starting to get that knowledge now, and so they coming back to the original producers.
Okay.
They coming back to the producers who, hey, you produced that thoroughly all the way from the ground up, and that's what it is. And like, that's what producers should do. You know what I'm saying? That's actually, and I don't know if a lot of people look at it like this, but that's kind of like cheating. It's like back when we were rhyming, right? You never, let me catch you in the studio with a rhyming dictionary. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen those.
Let me catch you with a rhyming dictionary. You know how many times I would see rhyming dictionaries and would understand that, like, that's probably pretty useful right there, but I can't touch it. It's gonna mess up the integrity of what I do. You know what I'm saying?
So what are the rules to being an MC, man? Because I've heard this conversation. People talk about ghostwriting. People talk about the rhyming.
I ain't gonna lie. Ghostwriting, you're not a real MC.
Okay.
You're not. I mean, it's just bottom line.
I disagree. And let me tell you why I disagree. Because Beyonce didn't write us stuff.
But she's not an MC though.
But do Rihanna write us stuff?
We don't consider them MCs though.
But okay, so if
rap is different.
If Slimm wrote you some verses, Drake, you not an MC because you.
No, I'm a performer.
Yeah, he a performer.
Okay, you not an MC. So they talk about Drake not writing all his shit. But he the biggest thing out there.
No, but listen.
So
but I don't consider Drake as an MC though.
What took
away.
And
I think he can rap though.
Soon as we heard
what you say, and you don't think he can rap.
I say I think he can rap.
Oh,
so
okay. I was gonna say.
Look, soon as we heard that, I ain't gonna lie. I used to listen to Drake, and I was like, "Yo," I remember Drake. I remember when Jay would have us sitting around listening to Drake before the world heard him, and asking our opinion, like what we thought. And I was like, "Dude, it's dope." And I put him up there in that upper echelon with the Jay-Z's, the Nas's. But soon as I heard that he was dealing with, what's the guy named Scotty Miller? I forgot something like that. Yeah. Soon as I heard that, it took all the sheen off his gleam. All of it. You know what I'm saying? It changed.
But hold on, because let's I'm not going to play devil's advocate. Let's just say the guy is assisting him, which nobody does anything by themselves. So if a man is helping you,
some people do in rap. In rap, they do.
Does that make you less of an MC because you get help? Everybody, Jay-Z is probably, there's not another Jay-Z. The greatest of all time. I mean, you know.
So you say Jay-Z the greatest of all time?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you want to
what make you say that?
10 number one albums in a row, who better than me? Only the Beatles.
But come on, you can buy that. I mean, no, let's not go. Okay, but look, let's talk about on the streets as far as hip-hop, hardcore.
Sweetest Kool-Aid, too.
He definitely in the top 5.
96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001 and beyond. 02, 03, 04, 05.
He's definitely in the top 5. But would you say the greatest of all time?
Ho told my story. That's why he up there for me.
So listen. So here's the thing. When I say the greatest of all time, right? 100 years from now, if they're not going to remember our opinions, they're going to factually remember his numbers. Yeah. That's what makes him the greatest of all time.
Yeah, now if you're looking at it from that angle.
If you want to go in and say, this guy's better, that's opinion.
How do I?
But if 100 years from now, and I can say this pretty confidently, Jay-Z may put out 3 more albums that are going to be number 1. He will be the number 1 selling artist. He will have the most number 1 albums out of any single artist or any group. If that don't make me number 1, goddamn, tell me what
right
the fuck
now
y'all
on Twitter.
do.
Right now on Twitter, they are like petitioning for him to put out another album. They definitely want to see another Jay-Z album. But to answer your question, how I look at it is, first and foremost, and you know this, Adrian.
Okay, talk to me.
I mean, people know, anybody that knows me out there, they know that I hate to toot my own horn, man.
Toot your horn, man.
I hate it. I hate it, man. But
you pretty good producer. I ain't gonna take that from you.
One thing, no, not just a producer though. On that mic though, Adrian.
I ain't heard you in a while. Now, your younger you was fucking around.
I ain't lie.
Heard the older you.
Now,
the younger you was fucking around.
I have not lost a step. You know, the younger me used to make Scarface hide songs in the vault, but we ain't gonna talk about that though.
Okay.
Look, shout out Face though, man. That's my dude. But man, I done did songs for Face that never heard the light of day again after we laid them down. And we used to be like, wait, them songs, they went in the vault. They never came out. But anyway, I was known for being... no, not hating.
That's kind of what you just said. Dre, what did you get out of it? Hold on, Dre, what did you get out of it?
I ate him up on the song.
That's what I got. That he feel like he ate Face up on the song.
I ate him, and Dre, and he was not trying.
Face, the man say he ate your ass
on the song, man. He know I did. Look, there was one night, quick story. One night sitting in the studio. One night sitting in the studio, man. Don't make me stand up. No,
stand up. Look, stand on that
I was
shit.
standing. Look, we sitting in the studio one night. Me and Gotti.
shout out to Gotti,
Face
man.
come up in the studio with a special
You
guest.
talking about Gotti?
The special, yeah, got it, man. What's the name come in? Face come in and he got Dub C with him. He got Dub C. This is 1998, right after West Side Connection.
Right.
So Dub come in. First, Face pick his head in the door. He say, "That's y'all?" I say, "Yeah." He say, "Can I get on it?" Now, come on, Face. You gonna ask us, can you get on this motherfucker? Of course you can get on this motherfucker, right? So he comes in, and as he's walking in, he got Dub C, and Dub say, "Can I get a verse?" Man, this is one of the greatest days of my life, right? So
What track was this?
this was
this one that's in the vault.
exactly.
okay.
Listen, I ain't heard the motherfucker since we did it. Like, it went in the vault. Like I say, I wish social
Hey, Jay,
media,
let me hear that, man.
I wish social media exists.
I'm gonna holler at
because
Jay
I
in the
would have
morning.
recorded it at least.
Morning,
I
man.
would at least recorded it because now it's just an imagination. I don't even know what I said on the song, but let me finish telling the story.
Go ahead.
So Face come in, he said, "Can we get on that?" Dub C say, "Can we get on that?" I'm like, "Niggas, you crazy? Hell yeah, you can get on that." So these niggas writing their verse. I'm in fucking La La Land because I'm just looking like, yo, Dub C and Face is about to get on a song on this FWC album. This shit is about to be over with. I'm like, this is fucking over with, right? So I go in the fucking studio. I go in the booth. I lay my verse down. Dub C telling me how dope my shit is. I got another story about that too, about Spice One. But Dub C telling me how dope my shit is, and see, as a kid, you know, you looking at those guys telling you that, who you look up to, and you like, Lord have mercy. Like, I dreamed of these moments. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, so Face do his thing, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna show I'm looking at the camera when I say this. I was confident after Face laid his part down that I knew that I did my thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I say, hey, I stood my ground on this motherfucker right here, so Gotti do his part. When we leave at night, Face smoking the joint, he say, "Hey, we finna finish this out, and you know what I'm saying, everything will be up here tomorrow." So the next day we come up there, and I don't know who, I think it was Leroy, Mr. Lee, or somebody who recorded
shout out
that.
to Mr.
Shout
Lee,
out
man.
Mr. Lee, that's my dude, man. He already know it.
Man, fuck Mr. Lee. Go ahead.
Oh, Dre, what Mr. Lee do to you, Dre? What he do to you? I gotta hear this. Hold on.
We ain't got to talk about it. He know it's fuck him.
Oh, okay.
You know it ain't no secret.
Hey, he already know. Hey, God damn, Mr. Lee, what the fuck is you doing out here in the
Man,
world?
you did something fucked up if Dre saying it, but go ahead,
Hey,
man.
man, because, hey, dude, Dre a cool dude, man, so it's got to be. But
Damn,
I
Dre.
tell Mr. Lee, I say,
Okay,
yo,
go ahead.
hey, man, I got another story, too, man. I got to tell this shit. Look, we go up there, and I tell Lee, can we hear the song? And Lee he say, oh, Face put that in the vault. This vault is like imaginary because I've never seen this vault. And whenever these songs go into this imaginary vault, they never come out. So it's like, I think they erased them motherfuckers. I think some kind of way where they were saying songs were going in a vault that they maybe was getting erased. I don't know. But, hey, Face, you know you my nigga, but I know I ate you up on that song. And we can settle this right now, even today in 2022. You know what I'm saying? I'm a producer. You can come to the studio. I come to your spot. We can still get it in because you know how he know what Slimm do, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He was also one of the first
challenge
people
Face right now.
to put the key in my back and tell me that I was nice. Like I say, as a kid, man, growing up around some of the biggest legends, that's why I will never regret my whole Rap-A-Lot experiences because even like I say, doing Usual Suspects with the Fifth Ward Boys, if you go and listen to the first song on Usual Suspects, the first voice you're going to hear come on there is Mr. Slimm.
We had them in here too. We had E-Rock didn't show up, so I never put that one out. I need to put that one out, Travis.
But yeah, man.
With Low and Double O.
Man, them my dudes, dog. Double O, I'm working on some of his new stuff too. Been working with Low Light since he came on. With both of them.
Okay.
But, shoot, you know, I was there with Low when I know he pretty much talked about when he went to jail.
Yeah.
We was right there. He went to jail. Like, he left my house to go to jail.
Shout out to Richard Nash. I hate to do you like that and call you government, but what's going on?
No, man, he know what it is, man. I love that
He went
dude
to jail
to
for the bank
death.
robbery, right?
Huh?
Bank robberies, right?
No, that was Double O.
Double O, okay, yes. Yeah,
Low Life went to jail behind a snitch nigga named Larry, man. Larry, you bitch ass nigga, you had me on them tapes. Look, my voice was on tapes in the courtroom and I wasn't even in the courtroom. I'm like, God damn. But look, Larry come over there. Larry come to the house.
Woo, shit.
And Larry is playing Madden with us. And let me tell you something about when the feds...
Mr. Lee, fuck Larry. Now go ahead. Let me see who else
when the feds
gonna
send motherfuckers to your house, let me tell y'all what they do. They put the motherfuckers on pills. Because Larry was on pills, bro. Larry was totally, what they call that, inebriated. Like, because he knew what he was doing. The nigga had a recording on him. And he needed to be calm. So he was on pills. I never forget that day. Larry was falling asleep. We was playing Madden and everything, man. It was the last thing me and Low Life did before they left to go to jail for almost 35 years. But, man, thank God he only did 7.
Damn, he was gone that long?
No, he only did. They let him out after 7. But he's got 35 years. Oh, did he tell y'all that? I don't want to put my man business out. But, yeah, he done talked about it on my shit. I got
a story about this, so hold on. So Jay telling, he telling Low Life, he telling the Fifth Ward boys, how this rap shit is where y'all need to be. Everything finna work out. This, that, and the other. Low, you gotta stop hustling. Man, Low Life say, hey, man, when this rap shit start playing like this trap shit, then I'm gonna be on this shit right now.
Hey, Low was in the streets, man.
That shit was so funny to me.
I ain't gonna lie, man. When Low got locked up, man, they called me, man. Shit. It ain't too many niggas that you'll shed a tear when he tell you that he locked up. But I was like, damn, nigga, you just left my house. Like, put it like this. That nigga Low, and it's crazy that I'm telling this story, but he know I love him. This is the true shit. This is the real shit. Look, Low had about $6,000 on him, right? That he had just got from some kind of accident or something that had just happened. And when he went to jail, because he left some stuff at my house, and he's supposed to come back. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't come back. I'm waiting up all night for him to come back. So his girl is the one who ended up calling me saying, Low, when he left with Larry, he went over there and they arrested him for that stuff where he was going. And I already knew where he was going. So I'm like, what the fuck? They got my nigga? I'm going to be honest. I thought my nigga stashed that $6,000 in my house, right? So what you think I did?
You looking for it, huh?
Boy, I was looking for it. Look, when he first came home, I told him that. I said, Lo, I was looking for that $6,000 in my house. He said, no, I had that in my pocket. I say, no, I was going to put it on your books. I was looking for it because I knew that you may have stashed it in my house somewhere. But nah, he didn't. He actually had it with him because he had no idea Larry was going to do that. But fuck Larry, like I say, that was some bullshit. But definitely love to the Fifth Ward boys, man. A lot of people like to ask me all the time about my Rap-A-Lot experience, right?
Okay.
And they and shout out Dewey, man. Dewey, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Dewey, man.
I remember coming up there, bro, like I say, and hearing it on the radio at first. Like, I used to be somebody who sat at the house and used to rap into the microphone on my double cassette radio. You know what I'm saying?
Throwback.
And I used to make beats by looping instrumentals and looping and man, I don't know how I used to do this, though,
Trav,
bro.
you used to do that shit too?
Bro, I used to loop beats on cassette tapes. You used to do that, bro. It was so dope, like how I could seamlessly do that. I could catch the end of a Run DMC song where the instrumental is and keep it looping. Just keep it looping. So we would just do these songs and play this on one radio and rap on the other and put together a little mixtape. And her do it one time on the radio. As a matter of fact, shout out Tulo too. It was actually hearing Tulo on Bring It On that let me know, like, kids can rap. I didn't know kids.
Tulo was hard as fuck.
I didn't know. Yeah, shout out Tulo. I love that nigga. I didn't know that. But we came through the trenches together. I didn't know that. Labels were allowing kids to rap, not let alone cuss. But, Tulo on Bring It On was one of the greatest verses I ever heard in my life because I was young. I was a kid at the time. And to hear a kid, I was like, hold up, this nigga is wrecking, right? So to hear do it on the radio one day talking about, we the Fifth Ward boys just signed a Rap-A-Lot and we had jamming records and tapes. And I say, hold up. This is where I buy my tapes from. I was right around the corner from jamming records and tapes. So I said, I'm finna go up there. So I tell my boys that's in the group with me, Daddy Low and KIP, shout them boys out. I say, we going up to jamming records and tapes. We finna go get a deal. Like, I just believed that we were gonna go up there and get a deal, bro. And we went up there. Big Smokey was up there. Shout out Smokey.
Shout out to Big Smokey.
Man,
You
love
big,
that
boy.
man. Shout out Smokey, man.
Big Smokey,
he
man.
swung on me for trying to take a fry out his plate, but it's all love. But
I'm not surprised.
Hey.
Smokey, big nigga.
But he
You
take
can't be
food out my plate, but then
You
gonna
can't
get
take
mad when
nothing
I
off
try to
no
take
big
it out of
nigga
here.
plate, man. What's up, Smokey?
But anyway, Smokey
Dre,
say,
hold on, Dre. You know Smokey?
Don't
Big
recall.
Smoke, he DJ now. This Leroy. I don't know if he want me to put his government out there, but
No, don't put
yeah,
Leroy out there.
yeah,
man.
but Big Smokey, he DJ and do a lot of stuff. Big Smokey say, Slimm. He was already calling me Slim. He said, "What you trying
back
to
when
come?"
he was probably slim.
Yeah, he said, "You trying to come get you a tape, boy? You wrong with the one." He said, "You
not
trying to
Slim
come
no
get you
more.
a tape?" I say, "No, I come up here to rap today." He said, "Oh, you want to rap?" I say, "Yeah." So boom, we go up. He say, "Y'all got to sit down." So we sat down in the front of that record store where the tape things was right there. Dewey come in, he look at us. He say, "Y'all trying to rap?" We like, "Yeah." So then we watched him play dominoes for about an hour and 30 minutes. And then he finally turned around and looked at us again. Was like, "Oh, y'all niggas still here? Y'all trying to rap?" We say, "Yeah." So he say, "What?" So I get up. I pull my tape out of my pocket. Dewey say, "Now we want to hear something live." My heart dropped. I ain't gonna lie. He threw a, boy, you talking about a monkey wrench? Man, he threw a monkey wrench into the plan. So I did what Kyle did, and that's why we're gonna go to that story. I did what he did, and I nerved up. I couldn't get out 3-4 lines, man. And Daddy Low, shout out Daddy Low, he did his shit all the way through. KIP couldn't get 3-4 lines out. They got all our numbers, and they say they gonna call us. So we left home. We went home. We on the block. We like, man, they gonna call us, man. And you know, I'm the so-called leader of the group because I put everything together, right? So this the funny part. They got all our numbers, right? The next day I get a call from Daddy Low. He say, "Did them niggas call you?" I said, "No, them niggas ain't called me." He say, "They called me?" I say, "What?" He say, "Yeah, they called me." I say, "What they say about me, nigga?"
He's not a goddamn thing.
Know what he say, Dre, ain't gonna lie. They say, "Hey, your boy Slim cool, man. But we thinking about doing this group called 14 and Under. And being that he 15, we gonna just feature him on some songs." You know what I'm saying? Guess who was talking to Daddy Low at that time? I don't know if you know Arthur. You know Arthur J. Smith?
Yeah, I know Arthur.
Okay. That's who that
Come on,
was.
man.
Okay.
Yeah, I know
So shout out Art, man. Art, you almost messed up the Fifth Ward Juveniles. But look, this is what Art said that to Daddy Low, but Daddy Low called me and told me, he said, "Bro, I'm finna go up there. Do you want to come with me?" I went up there with him. When I tell you that time when Dewey and them asked me to rap, I went completely off. I'm talking about I went out of my body. That's how I got signed. I literally went out of my body, bro. I rapped as loud as I possibly could, bro. Like, I lost my mind. Dewey called Jay came up there, heard us rap. We were instantly signed. Instantly. He said, "Oh, yeah, we got to work with them." So that's how the whole thing started with the Juvenile thing, man. Now, the story that I was telling you a little bit before about the Killer Corleone situation. Shout out Killer Corleone too, because I seen him on y'all show.
Coming through the show, Killer.
That's my dude, man. I ain't gonna lie.
He did the same shit you did.
We
He got over there and froze the fuck up too.
He definitely did. We go way back, bro, and we go back as to being in algebra class in Barbara Jordan
Y'all
High
some
School.
smart niggas, huh?
Yeah, like, I do. Like, look, I ain't gonna lie. I do love to pat myself on the back for going to Barbara Jordan. Talk to anybody who went to Barbara Jordan. We all act the same. It's like it's a certain moxie you carry yourself with. You know what I'm saying? Because you went there. What school you went to, Trey?
See that?
Dog, I ain't going to Barbara Jordan.
Oh, yeah, I went to Barbara. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
y'all don't know, man. Barbara Jordan is like
a
the
magnet
magnet uppity nigga school. You know what I'm saying?
No, it ain't uppity, man.
Yeah, it's uppity. It was all good. You know what I'm saying? They had some nice girls over there. They had some
Oh,
nice,
my God.
fine.
I ain't never think I wanted to go to school every day.
Hey, them girls over there.
Barbara Jordan made you want to go to school every day.
That's
bro.
not far from here, right?
No, it's not far at all,
10
man.
minutes away.
Yeah, but Kyle one day, and he know I can call him by his government. That's my dude. I love him. But bro, I'm in class, right? And this is what was so dope. whenever I would write raps, I would do a real live heading on the paper. Like I would put Fifth Ward Juvenilez in parentheses what the name of the song is, Rap a Lot Records, such and such and such. And then I would proceed to write the raps.
Okay.
Kyle came behind me in class one day and was looking over my shoulder.
Was he trying to cheat?
I don't know what he was trying to do, but he read the paper. And he said, this is my first, like, we was in class for months together, but this is my first time actually having a real conversation with him. He looks at my paper and he said, bro, you signed a rap a lot? I say, yeah. He say, stop lying. No bullshit.
No, that sound like what I would expect.
I would expect it
Killer
because when you would say you rapping back then, it ain't like today. You know, you say you rapping today, people gonna fucking look at you crazy. You rap, but no. Back then, when you would say that you rapped, it was a big thing. So he didn't believe it. He was like, "Bro, you just not signed to rap a lot." I'm like, "Bro, I go and chill with Scarface and everybody every day when I get out of school." He say, "You bullshitting." He said, "Man, I want to do that shit." So right then and there at that moment, I brought him on in. I showed him how I was writing my raps. I told him the things that I looked at as being important in rap, the things that like one thing I can say about my dude, and I tell him this out of love. I love this dude. He listened to everything that I said. And he ran with it.
I just for him being on our podcast, I realized he was a student right away.
Yeah, he listened to everything that I told him. I'm talking about triple syllable rhymes, 2-syllable rhymes. Like he'll tell you I broke hip hop down to him like E equals MC squared. And he ran with it. He really did. But the first thing that happened was I wrote a verse for him, and he was supposed to go up to Rap a Lot, and I remember telling doing them all the time. And this is how cool like it was. Like I was signed, but I wasn't tripping on putting nobody else on.
Right.
Cause Kyle was so like when I wrote that verse for him and to hear him spit it, he sound like what y'all hearing today. Like I said, man, this dude is dope. So I told Dewey, I said, man, one day I'm going to bring this dude up here, man, after school, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell him to get on the Fifth Ward bus. Because, you know, when you go to Barbara Jordan, buses go to you can stay on the south side and go to Barbara Jordan.
Right,
so
it's bang school.
Yeah. So I said, you're going to get on the Fifth Ward bus, and you're going to go to the record store because I done told Dewey about you, and he ready to hear you. And so he was like, for real? I said, yeah. Today is the day. We jump on the bus. We go get on. We ride. We get out at the record store right there. My chest is sticking out because I know Kyle is finna go in here and kill this because I'm talking about he kills it every time when he just kicking it between me. Do it throw on the beat, man. Kyle could not get past by 3-4 lines, man. I'm talking about he still do it still talk about this to this day because he say, bro, you spoke so big on him. And see, I'm gonna keep on speaking on Kyle, boy. I spoke big on you, boy. I'm talking about, I said, man, this dude is super dope, man. And so dude was like, and Kyle remember, dude said, man, I thought you said this nigga was ready. And I remember walking Kyle out the front door of the record store. And we standing at the Metro bus stop right there, right? And I'm like feeling super sorry for him because I'm like, bro, you done fucked up your opportunity. I done brought you up here. But it was so good to see him catch on with, you know what I'm saying, with poking them and with Slimm them and all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It was dope to see that because, and this is a thing, and I want to say this while I'm looking at the camera. When I seen Donnie Houston and I seen him say that, it was heartfelt.
Man, shout out to Donnie Houston. You're doing a good job over there.
Man.
Keep up the good work.
No doubt, man. It was heartfelt because, you know what I'm saying, he didn't have to say that. You know what I'm saying? And he said that he put it out there. I'm one of the people that never tries to really put that out. If he'd have never said it, y'all probably never hear me say it.
Okay. Right. So, Trav, I know you got to go get your wife. We're going to stop right here. We got to bring this nigga back because I'm finna crank your ass up.
I just told her to catch your Uber.
With these Rap a Lot stories.
Oh, he said he gonna catch an Uber.
Okay, so okay, shit, just cut that shit off then, and we keep it pushing then.
Pushing. Hey, so man, man, bro? I'm an open book, man. Oh, so where were we at though?
The Killer story. You just
okay, we was talking about Killer, right?
Killer.
So Killer was you know what I'm saying, I'm glad that he was able to go on and do the things that he did. Me and him, the only thing that was different though is that I did tell him, I was like, bro, I'm doing this production now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to come holler at me. You know what I'm saying? And this is where it gets a little thick at, because I used to tell, but I know I was just starting out with the production, but I used to be like, bro, you got to reciprocate what I did.
Right.
I'm like, bro, you got to reciprocate that. Like, he was over there with Slimm them at the time, right? And I would be like, bruh, man, tell these, and you want to know what's crazy? Because I know those people probably look at this and say, well, why the hell you just didn't go over there? But that's the thing. Like, when you doing, I don't know, it's like when you're doing this production thing, you try to go through the real, what they call it?
Channels.
The channels of how it's
Proper
supposed
channels,
to go. And so I would be like, shoot, that's my proper channel right there. So, you know what I'm saying? It's actually crazy that, and I know it's going to happen soon, because, man, me and Slimm was supposed to probably link up on something so long ago, man. Like, I remember going to perform at, what was that, Eisenhower? Slimm went to Eisenhower, right?
Yeah, with that.
With the Eisenhower, and Slimm was in the crowd. Him and Lil Mario, when the Fifth Ward Juvenilez were performing. And so I, like, to see a lot of those cats come up in Houston, like, after what we did, I always knew, like you know, because a lot of people, you know, they don't like to give the Fifth Ward Juveniles they recognition, and they just do. But during that time, there was no young. We were the first young rappers to come out of Houston.
Yeah,
Shout out Jake for making that happen too.
I think what happened with you guys is y'all were ahead of y'all time. I think, because I tell people, and I've said it before on our podcast, Choice was so far ahead of her time she couldn't enjoy.
Man, you hit that right on the head.
She couldn't enjoy what people couldn't accept what she did.
But you know what? She's
and
the foundation.
And they never gave her credit. You know, whether it be Lil Kim, Nicki Minaj, Foxy Brown.
Not one time.
Nobody gives this girl credit, and I think that's a tragedy, because.
I remember I had her single back in the day. Lord have mercy.
Which one? Pipe Dreams?
Pipe Dreams.
I ain't gonna lie.
I didn't even know what half of that shit meant, but it was.
But she
I would love to hear Pipe Dreams right now, just to see if I can like realize what the fuck she really was talking about.
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, you
Pipe
can figure that now.
Dreams.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Hold on 1 second.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Because I ain't mean to cut you off, but Rap-A-Lot as a whole was ahead of their time, like literally ahead of its time. If you really go back and take a look, and as successful as Jay has been, as successful as the label was, I don't think people realize that shit, Jay was really a 20, 24, 23-year-old guy doing this shit and had no blueprint. You take some of these artists now that's 20-something, I don't know how old Lil Baby and them is, but you take these artists now, they have the benefit of all of this history that they can build upon. You know, when you talk about Jay, Luke, Eazy-E, Tony Draper, you know, these guys, these original guys, even Dr. Dre in there, you know, they didn't have that history to build up on. Nobody knew what the fuck they was doing. They was just doing it. And it was just cool at that time. It wasn't as much about the money. It was cool that we famous and this is about the art. Of course, with Jay, it was all about the money.
Oh, yeah.
So,
and about the art, too, man.
Yeah,
you know when you brought up the whole west side of the shit, you just made me think about 3232. I don't know if he just tapping me on my shoulder right now and say, hey, boy, you better give me a shout out.
Shout out to 32, man.
Shout out to 32 and
32.
32, man.
The governor.
Let me tell you something about 32, man. 32 is
sure
one of the
everybody got a
first
32 story.
people that actually rapped on my beats when you know, I started producing. He was one of the first people that made me feel like a real producer. He was like when I had 3-2 coming through rapping on my shit, that was like sent me through the stratosphere. And the funny stories about 3-2, bro, 3-2 would come to my studio at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. It was in my mama garage. We had spent like about $30,000 on soundproofing the garage and putting a booth up in there and everything, right? So 3-2 would come and knock on the door. My mama come wake me up out of bed and say, that boy at the door again.
Sounds like 3-2 to me.
Just say, That boy at the door again. And 3-2
Yeah.
would come in, he'd be like,
R.I.P.,
hey.
homie.
He'd be like, hey, Slim.
Did he do this?
Yeah, he'd be like, hey. He'd be like, I know it's late, baby, but hey, we trying to put something down. And he would come in and, bro, he's the only person, because I promise it was anybody else other than 50 Cent, Jay little brother, coming to my house at 4 something in the morning, it's gonna be some problems. But 3-2 would come up. The reason I want to bring 3-2 up and give him his flowers is because 3-2 is responsible for the G-Funk era. And a lot of people don't want to get that man. I mean, even Snoop finally gave him his props when he passed away. But 3-2, a native Houstonian, our brother, is the creator of that. He is at the nucleus of G-Funk. Like, everything Snoop did, everything, like, it's funny. Like, a lot of people don't even peep that, 3-2 and Big Mike, the convicts, was sent down there to L.A. to work with them for a while. They were down there for a minute. And I don't know if people remember Snoop saying in this song where he said, it's the only way we beat them, man. We got to smoke them and choke them like the motherfucking Peter, man. Who is the Peter, man?
Big Mike.
He was already giving shouts to that dude on, what was that, Deep Cover?
Yeah.
He said
that was in 92.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm
that's what
saying?
he's talking
So
about.
he was
Big Mike.
already, because, see, a lot of people don't realize that when Big Mike did his album, and he used to have that sample, he had the sample on that, smoke him and choke him like the motherfucking Peter, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was like, now they got the flashlight looking for Big Mike. That's the reason why Big Mike put that sample in there, because he already knew that old big baby and that, even that way of talking, and we don't love them hoes, and it's all 3-2,
It's
man.
all 3-2.
That
You're
dude
right. I
went
didn't think of
down
it
there
like that, but you're right.
And to
You
think,
definitely got a point.
and to think about it, right? That Snoop is the number one when you think of fame and notoriety of a rap artist. There's nobody famous, the more famous than Snoop. And it's like a lot of people don't realize it. Like, I got his obituary sits in my studio all the time. And I always think about
might
that,
have a
man.
point,
And
though.
I
I'm
say
trying to
every
think
time
about
I
that.
go somewhere, I want to make sure that it's known that, man, 3-2, Lord 3-2, man, the dude is legendary, bro. Like, the spirit that was in him, it influenced Pimp C. Like, see, don't. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to tell you, 3-2 is like it's like was sent from God. Like, he came down here in Houston, and we need to make a statue. I petition. I petition that we make a 3-2 statue, man, because the dude, man,
Ain't somebody doing a 3-2 documentary? Somebody working on a 3-2 documentary? Donnie Houston. That's
Donnie
who it was.
Houston.
Okay.
Okay.
That's dope,
That's
man.
right,
Shout
right,
out Donnie if he doing that, man. If you
Yeah.
need me on there, hey, I got some stories, man. The
And
dude,
you know what? My partner asked me to help him with his documentary. Man, shout out to Mean Green. Green, I'm gonna get with you. That's one.
Green got a mean documentary.
Yeah, he
bro.
do.
Like,
He got a teaser
his
for it,
story,
man. Y'all
his
go
story,
check out
bro.
Mean Green teaser. I just been crazy busy, but I definitely want to get to that, man.
Yeah, Mean Green got a story.
We've had a lot of shit come out of the city. Let me ask you this question, man.
Mm-hmm.
What are you? Because I feel like Rap A Lot was so far ahead of their time, but what happened that they couldn't keep this movement going? What do you think happened?
Okay, dang, you asked the right person. Bro, I got the perfect answer for this.
Right, you got the perfect answer.
Hey, I'm talking about the perfect answer because, like, I used to. This is what I think. Okay, as a kid, I think that Rap A Lot we was too gangster. It was too gangster.
Death Row was gangster.
But no, not like. Listen, I don't even think Death Row was as gangster as Rap A Lot. And I'm being honest. This is, bro.
I agree with you.
I was a young kid, and I ain't gonna get too specific. I'm gonna make sure that's right. But I'm gonna tell you this: Rap A Lot, we didn't play no games, and I'm saying we. Even though I ain't have to really swing too many punches, 'cause I was a teenager at the time. But I was watching all of these OGs do their thing. Man, when I tell you that every club, every state, wherever we went, it was Rap A Lot.
That respect was earned. I must say that respect was earned.
I remember times, if this makes sense, that I would go up to Rap A Lot, the building sometime, and there would be DJs up in the front room, in the front office where the Rap A Lot was on the floor at, and they would be up there for complaints. they would be up there for complaints like, hey, one of you guys, slapped the shit. Like, what I'm trying to say is, in so many words, is there's a difference between the corporate world and gangsterism. And sometimes they can't coexist, even though we know gangsterism makes the world go round. I just think that if you looked at a Rap-A-Lot as on let's just look at an EQ or equalizer, right? Let's just say on this EQ, you got a little gangster on this part right here. I think the gangster part of the EQ was turned up a little too loud. We probably needed to lower that a little bit, and that may have allowed Rap-A-Lot to continue. Because look, I'm going to tell you one thing, for real. When I seen that Drake was going over to Cash Money, right? Mm-hmm. When I knew that what was really going down, I already knew what was up then. I already knew what was up then. I was like, okay. See, when I was a kid, I seen this shit coming because it's logical. It's like when you go around and you do so much of this gangsterism, sometimes people want to try to stand up against it. And that's to make it plain and simple, you had a lot of guys who just started to try to stand up against it. You know what? I ain't going to play that. You know what? I ain't going to do this. You know, this and that. And I think that according with, people going to the laws or whatever they was doing, but it turned it down to where Rap-A-Lot wasn't what it was no more. It wasn't, the music never changed, but I don't think that it can operate at the same way that it was. It couldn't operate at the capacity that it was running between the 90s up to the 2000s.
Well, one thing you got to understand, too, on that side, like, in the beginning, one of the things that New York did, I think, was genius, when with this hip-hop thing came out. Mm-hmm. They dispersed all of their DJs all over the country, right? Mm-hmm. And so New York, no matter where you was at, if you wasn't from New York or that New York, Jersey, your shit was whack. Mm-hmm. So they wanted everybody to be like them. You know what I mean? And so Jay is the first motherfucker that said, fuck that, we gonna be us. We finna be us, and you motherfuckers gonna accept it. And if you ain't gonna accept it, we gonna make you accept it. Mm-hmm. And so, because the DJs was in Houston saying we gonna only play New York shit. So, and that happened in a lot of places. So everybody else was country and whack until Jay kind of made it a point to say, you motherfuckers gonna respect us and play our shit. Mm-hmm.
And what you think made them stop? Like, what do you think? Because think about it. Face never really, let's go back to The Untouchable, right?
Okay.
Let's just say right around that time, that sweet spot, right? A little bit after that. Like, what around the Fix? Because, see, even the fact that Face had to go to Def Jam to do the Fix, right? Mm-hmm. It was a change. Because the Fix would have normally been a straight Rap-A-Lot album. You know what I'm saying? And I think this, too. I think that, you know what I'm saying, it got out of a little bit of even the boss man's hands. Because it was a lot of, man, you know how Fifth Ward is, man. There was a lot of these dudes that was just doing their own thing under the flag of Rap-A-Lot. And Jay wasn't signing off on all that shit. It was niggas just out there just, hey, because I got on a Rap-A-Lot chain, I'm going to go out here and do this. Or being that I got this, I'm going to go out here and do this. And they were fucking it up. They didn't know that at the time, but they were messing up what was already built, because what was built was perfect, man. Like we were putting out hits out that motherfucker.
So what happened there, though, I think is niggas didn't understand. You got to realize, as I said, Jay started Rap-A-Lot at 22, 23 years old. Mm-hmm. So, and he started it with no blueprint, right? So you got young niggas who, you had a bunch of young niggas at this time. Jay had the car lot over there. Hell, I was my first job ever, I think, was washing cars over there. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Them niggas all had some money, so a car wash.
What year that was?
Like 85, 86, right? Oh, okay. So a car wash, I was getting $100 a car wash. Mm. And then them niggas played basketball across the street. I was 14, 15 at the time, right? Mm-hmm. So these basketball games across the street, it wasn't shit to pay for 20, 25 grand or 5 grand or 20. Niggas getting competitive, that shit might be 40, 50 grand a game. You know what I mean? So I'm getting off the subject, but just stick.
No, I'm following you.
But what I'm saying is, what happened is you had a bunch of young niggas who was in the streets that was hustling, that now they get an opportunity to travel all over the country, and they ain't never been nowhere. They don't know. You know, I often say that if we could bring back the time between 84 to like 92, 93, right? Fuck it, 84 to 94.
Okay.
Do you know how many millionaires was made in the street at that time that had no clue of what to do with that money?
You ain't lying.
We didn't have no fucking Google. We didn't have, okay, this opportunity exists. You know what niggas knew what to do? Money, hoes, and clothes, and all those.
Hey, you want to know what's crazy,
things.
man, that you say
That's
that,
what a nigga knew.
and you think about
so
that. It's
you buy more cars, you buy more clothes, you buy more jewelry, you fuck more hoes.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing, and so we didn't have what we have now. See, a lot of times where we're getting off track, and niggas say what we failed on our part as OGs. Mm-hmm. The reality of it is these kids have access to all the information that we have access to. And to be honest with you, they're better at accessing that information.
Yeah.
We have experience. They're accessing present information that they can act on right away. So that makes a big difference. And I think one of the things when you say Jay might have even lost control, I don't think it's a matter if he lost control.
No, I wouldn't say lost control at the top. He kept his circle tight, but it was that other.
But definitely niggas just running wild
friend shit. It's that friend shit up under that umbrella.
Well, you got to understand too. So now what you had is kind of like you have a real street nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like a real street nigga. You know. Because nothing against any of these other CEOs out there, you know, but it's not a lot of them. Like it's not too many that's Jay.
Yeah.
In the sense of being a real street nigga
from the trenches.
You know, that really got it out the mud.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it ain't too many of them dudes exist. If you compare Suge to Dre, if you compare Luke to Dre, if you compare Draper or any other of these CEOs, and it's no disrespect to them. But from a street credibility standpoint, niggas that's really been in the streets know, you know, like, dude really cut like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think he gets a bad rap in a lot of ways because people look at Jay like he a bully and this, that, and the other. And if you know him, he's not that type of person.
You want to know what I thought was
don't
weird?
fuck with me and I ain't going to fuck with you.
Want to know what
But if you fuck with me, I'm going to give you everything you're looking for.
I want to ask
That's
you
really
this question.
who Jay is.
I want to ask you this question.
What?
How is it that, like, because I remember one time seeing Jay in the Forbes magazine, right? Mm-hmm. And under his name, it said Power Broker. Like, that's a hell of a title. I ain't going to lie. Like, to be a power broker means that you put people in position to do things. You get what I'm saying? And one thing that was weird to me, it was weird. Like, you know what I'm saying, is that, you know, Jay is a powerful person, can put people in all kind of positions, right? So I would always wonder, like, why is he not putting things out up under Rap-A-Lot? Like, why is he not just keeping the label just Rap-A-Lot and just running with it? That's the things that first started to make me wonder, like, that's like, you remember what was the Know Your Clap? Who was that, was Wack and UTP. When he put that, I think that was damn near one of the last hits on Rap-A-Lot as a label. Am I right or wrong?
I think you might be right.
Like,
but
Know Your
I
Clap.
think also what happened too, without me getting too deep into it, you had, see, money is an equalizer, right? One thing about it,
every time.
You know, money is an equalizer. So I think in the beginning, it wasn't too many people that really had no bread, right? So now you got all of these guys coming up in this music game, and now they all got some bread. So Jay was more of a finesse. Jay not really a press dude unless you put him in that situation, right? So it got to the point where these niggas started having money and they didn't understand how Jay moved. So they, instead of them finessing their way and building relationships, they paid for everything. And so that money will break up loyalty in relationships a lot of times. Because a lot of niggas ain't loyal. A lot of niggas ain't real.
You know what? You just made me look at that totally different.
Remember, everybody ain't loyal, right? So remember, everybody ain't loyal, which is everybody ain't real, right? So if I'm coming in saying, me and you partners, you give me your artist, I'm going to put them over here, I'm going to give you mine. But then Dre come to the table and say, man, here go $1 million. You know, well, shit, I'm coming on the back burner because, shit, we cool.
Yeah.
But, shit, nigga, hey, man, Dre just gave me $1 million.
Yeah.
So these niggas came in with this payola all the way around.
You know who I just talked to on Twitter about that the other day, man? Shout out the DJ, Mr. Rogers.
Shout out to Rogers. That's the homie.
Yeah, Rogers. Y'all ever had him on the show yet?
No, we have Rogers on the show.
Yeah, Rogers pretty dope, man. Rogers had put a message, and he was saying that, you know, it's like when he said, man, when you're in the club, it's kind of hard to find hit songs nowadays. He was like kind of going through and thing. It's not nothing that just really turn the club up. And, you know, somebody up under his thing had said, like, yeah, maybe Dallas should come back out with some stuff. And so I had hit him up, and I say, I don't think that it's just that it's not no hits coming out. It's the fact that what happened to the industry, like you say, it turned into a who is paying more gets played, not who's jamming more. Who's paying more? You know what I'm saying? And so I actually put that down there, right? He got, like I say, shout out Mr. Rogers. I don't know how he thought maybe I was speaking on it, but I think he had to. He wanted to prove a point that, like he said, he's tapped into the underground. You know what I'm saying? He was like, but my thing is, if you tapped into the underground, then you should be able to find the hits and bring them up, because a lot of, like, according to what you're saying, because you hitting it right on the head. A lot of the good music that we really would, like the real artists out here, the real artists who would probably create like real hit songs, if they don't got nobody behind them with no bread, they not getting played. It ain't like, remember how I just said earlier in the show how I went and got signed? You can't go get signed like that now.
You don't need to, because you got all of this shit that you can do. But this is the thing. So you got dudes who, whether they be in the street or whether they got a family member, a friend, or whatever the case, that can help them. It's more about the knowledge you have than how good your music is, right?
Yeah.
Because even with this podcast shit,
I've
seen some podcast motherfuckers, and I'm like, how are they doing these type of numbers? You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with their podcast, but I've realized me and Dre just decided to do this shit. We don't know what the fuck we doing. Like, literally, we have no fucking clue. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But now I talked to this little kid, and he's basically broke down to me some things on, you know, I can't even think of his podcast. That's crazy. But and you know, but he broke down to me on how do you beat the algorithms? How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do that? But what I got out of it more than anything is, okay, so I have to strategically pay here, which is okay. I'm starting to get it now. Okay, that's fine, because I knew when we got into this, like I told Dre, let's do it. You know, we had a conversation, and I knew it was going to be probably 18 months before we actually seen any money on this shit. Mm-hmm. You know, but I also understood that I'm do some things, Dre do some things. So this was a platform that we had to get our message out.
Yeah,
you know,
I ain't gonna lie.
Dre got a movie coming out called The Bricks.
Okay.
You know, that premiere, I think I said it earlier, August 12th, man.
August 12th.
And they're going to have a block party over in The Bricks.
Oh, okay.
Is that a public block party? Should I say that?
Block party come through.
Garden City.
So they're gonna have a public block party August the 13th in the Bricks.
Gonna show the movie too.
Yeah, and they're gonna show the movie out there. So I think
y'all
that's
gonna have a
important.
big old screen out
Yeah,
there?
so think about that. That's important for kids in that neighborhood to be able to see.
Absolutely.
Damn, this our hood. This shot right here by us. This shit is on the big screen. This the dude who in it. This the guy who in it. We got the cast. Those things are not far-fetched. So we're getting ready to wrap up, but let me tell you why I went there, because what happened is when Jay kicked the door down to show a motherfucker it could be done, then I tell people all the time, you know, Jay ain't gave me no bunch of money, you know what I mean? He's helped me here and there, and I'm thankful for it. But the inspiration he gave me is priceless, because inspiration is currency. Absolutely. If you really understand it. See, when a motherfucker that's right there next to you do it, you believe it can be done. A motherfucker that's on TV that's got this much distance in between you, and you ain't never seen, never heard of, Oprah ain't real to a nigga in the hood. Mm-hmm. Man, that bitch lucky. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. I ain't mean to call you no bitch, Oprah. Yeah, but bitch means Oprah, because I fuck with you, Oprah, right? Bitch means beautiful individual that can handle anything. Oprah, you that bitch, all right? So I cleaned that up real clean. Hey, I'm a fucking around, right?
I'm talking about shoe shine.
So that's so what happens though?
Where the A come in at the end? Anything?
Huh? Beautiful individual
I ain't gonna lie, Dre. I'm
that can handle anything.
Oh, anything.
So it ain't bitch, it's bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
That bitch can handle anything.
I got you. I'm just making
You know
sure
what I'm
I'm on the same page.
Okay. So y'all gonna make me start spin some of these
You know
pimping
what I'm
lines,
saying?
but I ain't gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
You trying to pimp Oprah?
Hey, I might have to get you on the intro.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah.
You a pimp Oprah?
I would definitely pimp Oprah.
I think Oprah going.
But I wouldn't pimp her for no pussy. I'd pimp her for knowledge. You see what I'm saying?
I think Stedman got something to say about that though. I think Stedman way more colder than we think, y'all. I don't think we don't get this man his props.
I agree. Is he still around?
We don't see him, but I think he's still around. We ain't heard about no Stedman funeral.
Somebody fucking Oprah, even if it ain't Stedman.
But Stedman good though. I know he good. Good.
You know what? Stedman kind of remind me of Dre. Like Dre will have an Oprah and never marry her either. You know what I mean? Like, shit, bitch, we cool. You know what I'm saying?
I trust you. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
But man, dog, I want to say,
considering I ain't had no Oprah yet, we gotta,
I want to
say,
say,
but again, they might end up buying Dre. Still on the podcast, homie. I'm gonna call you in a minute.
I want to say this, man. I definitely thank y'all for having me on, man.
Appreciate you.
I know what you're saying, like that y'all just started this, but man, y'all are doing it right, and that's the thing. See, you can do something, but you can do it in the wrong way. Y'all got the proper equipment. They got the proper microphones. Y'all sounding nice. K-Tron got y'all looking real good, man. Shout out K-Tron.
DJ K-Tron.
Yeah, man. And like I say, y'all don't even see one thing about conversations, and I don't know if this. Hey, thank God, but I don't know if this is just like this is natural for us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is what we do. Like, even if what you want to know something that I realized, and K-Tron is my witness. When I first got here, it was a podcast. We was already talking, telling stories. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I was already telling him he was telling me about people who he met that we know and all of this stuff. It's just crazy on how this is automatically what we do. And y'all done had some very nice guests through here, man. I got a question because people know that. One thing people know on the Frankenstein Allcast podcast, I bring up all kind of stuff. And one thing I'm real interested in asking you this question. When Dre was on here, right, I heard you say that you got Dre on the show because you had to go holler at him while he was getting ready to get in his car and he was on the phone. Now, I remember that part specifically.
Andre Johnson.
Yeah, because I say, so you went and hollered at this man while he was on his phone trying to get in the car.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Listen, let me tell you something. Closed mouth don't get fed, man.
Hey,
Listen,
I ain't gonna lie.
I done gained this weight because I like to eat. I'm going to find, me and Money got a strange way of finding each other. We're going to get together in abundance. Understand me?
Hey, you know what I think, though? I don't even think Dre was on the
stand.
phone. I think Dre does that every time he's in anywhere and he's walking out to his car.
Oh, so people don't talk to him?
Exactly. So
Andre Johnson, that's what we talking about. You know what? He might have been doing that.
You just beat.
Because he was like, all right, I'll come to the show.
Hey, that's what I would do. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be on, Hey, I'm on the phone, bro. You trying to talk to me, bro? Do you see I'm on? Because see, it would have worked on me. Even if I wanted to say something to him, I would have said, he on the phone, though. I can't go.
That shit wouldn't work on me.
That's why my co-host who he is, man. He don't give a fuck.
I don't fuck about that. Listen, I tell people
this dude crazy,
this dude
bro.
here called me, and then I'm finna talk to him after the show. Like, I tell people, a lot of people say, well, man, I don't want to bug you or this, that. Let me need you. I don't give a fuck about bugging you, nigga. I'm trying to get something done. The fuck you? I don't be wanting to call a nigga 10 times. I don't give a fuck. I'm busy. I have Phil J voicemail up, and he got real mad with me. But nigga, until you say, hey, man, quit fucking with me.
So now I know I can call you at any time, and I know it's never going to be too much. Never
no
too
problem.
much.
One thing about me.
He going to send you a text, I'm going to get back with you. And he never called back. So, just telling you his move, though. So,
but the thing is.
Just so you prepared.
That's all I'm prepared. Okay, appreciate that.
But the thing is, like, I'm real big on, I think a lot of people get their feelings hurt and shit, man. It's not a comedian that's went up on stage, Kevin Hart included, which is probably the biggest, Dave Chappelle, that hadn't been booed before. They haven't bombed. You just got to get back out there.
Shout out T.I., man. T.I. got booed like a motherfucker.
Yeah, shout out to T.I., man.
Back, though.
But you got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, like Killer went up there. Shit, that shit didn't work. He came back and reloaded.
He tried to be a comedian?
No, I'm talking about
I get it now.
So
I get it now. Because, he was up here with Monty, and I was finna say, hold up. My boy, you going to have me hit him up.
Monty. Monty got a series coming out.
Yeah, shout out that boy, too, man.
I think it's already out. It ain't out yet? I think it's out.
No, I don't think it's out.
The one he put on YouTube, I think.
Yeah, he put it out already.
I believe
you
so.
about to do a comedy special too,
we're
right?
gonna do a comedy special right there in the Ward on Lounge, man.
That's gonna
so
be
I'm
dope,
looking forward to it. But so I think it's a situation. I'm gonna go back real quick before we wrap up. Like, people don't realize when you make it, it's not about what you're giving to somebody else. You're giving them inspiration. So that inspiration. See, when these kids that Dre mentor, when they go around Dre and they see Dre have a party at Slimm House with all these bad bitches, they realize they can do it too. You know what I mean?
I got to get an invite one time, man. I heard about that party.
No, but seriously though, man, you know, when they see, you know, whether it be Dre on a podcast or Dre, you know, mentoring them, taking them places and different things, he's giving them inspiration. You know what I mean? They see Dre, you know, me and Dre was in the feds together. You know, we didn't know each other in the world. I met Dre in the feds. So when we, you know, we kind of just, I'm the same person I was when I met him. He the same person he was when I met him, right? And
that's why y'all go so good. Like, cause y'all got a good, you know, chemistry on camera. I noticed that.
Yeah, that's the homie.
And I was kind of trying to figure it out. I was like, how these niggas know each other? Like, how did, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I heard of Drake. So you know, I know you, and it's like I was trying to figure it out, but it's the art. It's dope. I ain't gonna lie. The way that y'all do
this, let me tell you the thing, the good and bad part.
Y'all Pimp C and Bun B. So, like somebody got to be Pimp C. Somebody got to be Bun.
Pimp then, huh?
Definitely Pimp.
Shout out R.I.P. Pimp, man. Pimp was
without question.
Like I know Bun fairly well. You know, as a matter of fact, I got Bun his first house. But Pimp,
flex.
Me and Pimp was really cool, and Pimp was a piece of work. To say the least. Say, man, check this out, man. Hey, man, look here, man.
Man, you know, last time I see Pimp, man, over there at Corey Mo's studio, man.
Shout out to Corey Mo,
man, love Corey Mo.
That's my guy.
Before this was, I would say this was maybe about 2 months before he passed away. Mm-hmm. Maybe even a month. I'm probably just adding the 2 on there just to make sure I'm safe. But he pulled up outside in the Spur, right? And I'm going to put y'all right in my head. I say, because this is how I am. Y'all going to learn this. Like, people know me, but I'm a real humble dude, bro. I'm super humble, man. So they tell me Pimp C pulling up outside, right? So the first thing I'm thinking, because, you know, we done toured with UGK. And I'm thinking, like, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to jump up, shake his hand? Am I just gonna sit here and be cool because I don't know if he remembers me. You know what I'm saying? This is how Mr. Slimm is thinking. Bro, I promise to God, and he know I ain't lying. If I'm lying, slap me upside my head, Pimp C. Man, he walk in there. Oh, shit. He look at me. He say, Slimm. He go and grab my hand and pull me up out of the chair. Hug me. I'm talking about, I'll never forget it, man. And the whole time he hugging me, I'm thinking to myself, man, this dude remember me. Look, and he like, bro, you remember we was on tour such and such and such? And I just never forget that moment because at that time I'm thinking like he was locked up for 8 years. I'm like, okay, when he get out, he ain't gonna know everybody who he see. Bro, he knew exactly. He pulled me up out that chair.
I'm gonna close us out real quick with this story, Slim. So the first day Pimp get home, he went to Emmett's. He might have been the first or the second.
It's on tape. We seen it.
He went to Emmett's, and then we all went to eat. You know, I told Jay, I forgot we was going to eat. They was going somewhere else, and I say, Jay, I got a better spot than that. So we went to the spot on West Time. It ain't there no more, called Tommy's Steakhouse. And we went over there and had crab cakes and you know, ate and listened to Pimp. And then, matter of fact, Jay put him and Master P on the phone that day. And, you know, we was sitting there and let them talk. And Pimp told him he didn't grow up now. He a different person. Whoop-de-whoop, this, that, and the other.
Well, Jay a real motherfucker.
It was a beautiful thing, man. You know what I mean? And it's funny because now I'm sitting here thinking about how much of history I've been a part of, and a lot. I mean, and I ain't really,
bro. We really
in the mix, but I've been in the mix. But man, we appreciate you coming by, man. I enjoyed this.
Appreciate you stopping by, bro.
You kind of took over Dre. He just sitting there, just listening.
I was enjoying the show. I'm not even lying to you.
That nigga sitting there, he done got a jalapeno dick over there. And he doing this in the seat. That's why Travis kept doing it. So if y'all didn't catch the beginning, Dre had some fresh jalapenos and cheese.
I think K-Tron had a tape
had the jalapenos, and he went and took a piss, rubbed his dick, and he got an itchy dick. But with all that being said, man, thank y'all for tuning in the show, man. We appreciate you coming in, man. Thank you very much.
Man.
Thank y'all for tuning to the Cole and Dre Show.
Hey,
hit
man,
the podcast.
Itchy dick. I
hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. I'm Cole.
And this is Dre, and we out.
Peace. Hey, ciao.
Oh, my goodness, man. You fucked up.
Relentless. Hey. Hey, Cole, boss straight, 2 mother, watch them out. No count, all facts like what you talking about. Boy, listen and pay attention to what we talking about. We can show you how to make 100,000 in the drought.